167. Life is challenging and difficult. No one gets out alive. Time to suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready for a monster-sized boot aimed to help you get traction on personal change and get living. I am John Curran, your host. Join me as I share my journey exploring the forces that motivate us to change and help us get through whatever life throws at us. A swift kick in the ass. Life on your terms. Welcome to another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass. This is your host, John Curran. And today's topic, deal with the pain, thank me later. So that's pretty big shoes to fill, isn't it? I'm asking you to deal with your pain, and dealing with pain is not pleasant. At least I think the majority of people don't think of pain as being something as being pleasant or enjoyable. Seeing some of the email addresses on the subscriber list that I have makes me believe, yeah, some of you maybe are into pain, and that's all good. This episode is about dealing with pain directly. I recently went out on a ski trip out to Colorado. I have a really good friend that lives out there. Actually, I have several really good friends out there. And went for my annual ski trip that just started really gearing up in the last couple of years. And one of my friends is a psychiatrist. And he actually gave me permission to talk about this theory that he has, or his analogy that he has about therapy. And, you know, therapy is painful. Addressing issues that you're facing in your life, it can be very, very, very painful. This trip out to Colorado was a mixture of pleasure and pain. And maybe that's what I need to call this topic. Maybe I need to change my name of this episode to Pleasure and Pain. Maybe they'll get more of you to listen, because I think this is really important. My trip out to Colorado, was intended to be fun and intended to be a good time, and it absolutely was. No question about it. I picked up skiing a long, long time ago, but I took a break because, hey, I got married, I had kids, and I didn't ski for over 20 years. But I took it back up, and at 58 years of age, I think I'm probably in the best shape of my life. I'm in very, good physical condition, luckily, and I had a blast. I was skiing the best I ever skied, and it's only the second venture out, really, out in about 20 years. So, anyhow, this is not about my ski trip as much as it is about addressing pain. And the pain of the ski trip was that it became abundantly clear to my group of friends that one of our friends had a drinking problem that really needed to be addressed, because he was on a path that we were so worried about, and honestly, we've been worried a lot about him. He's identified as an alcoholic for years because alcoholism ran in his family, and or runs in his family. So he's acutely aware of it. My ex-co-host, Tommy, alcoholism ran in his family. He was acutely aware of alcoholism and what it meant to be an alcoholic. Tommy avoided alcohol altogether. It was very rare that he had alcohol. because he knew what it would do. He would lose. He wouldn't be able to have control. Happened to his dad. Happened to his brother. It's tough, So I've seen it through my friends and their families. I've seen it in my own family, but in a different way. My dad experienced a very traumatic event. He watched one of our apartment buildings that we owned, a rental property, where I actually knew the family, and there was a 19-year-old son named Richard in the house that apparently was set on fire due to arson, and killed the father and the son. And my dad, as owner of the property, had to identify the remains. And he was there when they brought the bodies out, charred. If you see something like that, I can only imagine that it would impact you. And I remember that time in my life. I think I was in 9th grade, and Dad was drinking a lot during that time, trying to escape it. And it lasted for, I think, a couple of months. But then, he backed off. And, I think it was a temporary relief for him, but it was not long term. And it certainly, my dad was not an alcoholic. Neither is my mom. I don't know of alcoholism running in my family. In fact, my family is pretty much able to turn it off, turn it on and off. I really don't drink anymore, just because I don't like the way it makes me feel. So drinking's not a problem for me. But it was for my friend, and 5 of us sat down and before one of our skiing ventures, sat him down and told him how much we were concerned. And I think it was one of the most hardest, though it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But he experienced, the fire. What he's going through now, my friend who's battling alcoholism, and he's actually, listened to us and responded very well, I think. And, he's giving it a shot of not drinking and changing his life. And I really commend him a lot for that. I'm not mentioning any names, just for their own privacy, but I have a deep respect for that. So, pleasure and pain. Addressing your demons, getting through your challenges, your burdens, any number of things, bad situations, you lose your job, you have bad health, it could be just about anything. It causes pain in your life. And this podcast is about creating positive change, changing something bad and getting some good out of it, and growing out of the process. Not just accepting that it's nothing's ever going to change, and I might as well just lie down and just let the world just roll right over me and squash me like a bug. No, this is not a swift kick in the ass listener. I know my audience, and I know that all of you are here for a reason, and it's because you want to create positive change in your life. So I want you to seriously consider the pain that you are currently going through as a opportunity for growth and for learning. And just to carry forth with the analogy that my friend offered. He's a very well-known psychiatrist, and again, he gave me permission, but I don't want to give his name. So how is, life is kind of like walking down a hallway, right? We have all these different doors along the hallways that we can open, and we can go into the rooms and see what's there. And sometimes we hang out there for a long time until we leave, and we start heading down that hallway again as we grow, really, as a person, and we journey through life. you can actually, if you look back throughout your life, if you've lived long enough, you could see where you've had different phases of life. Like, you had this period of childhood where you were with your family growing up, hopefully. Hopefully mom and dad were around, or any combination of that. You have your family, you have that phase, you've got your schooling years, you've maybe got marriage, you've got certain friends, different phases of your life, right? These are these rooms that are off the hallway. So you keep walking down the hallway and you encounter a fire and it's blocking your path. You can't move forward without going through that fire. The fire is blocking you. So what do? You're inquisitive. So you walk up to the fire and you can feel the heat of it and you can hear it crackling. And the heat's not, it's not comfortable. I mean, you're starting to break a sweat already. I mean, you're probably many, many feet away from this fire that's blocking your path. I think we can all, hopefully you can visualize this and recognize that the fire is actually the treatment. You're going to have to figure out how to get through that fire. Maybe you want to put on some protective clothing, to get through it. You might have to do some things that you can't even imagine until you're in there and you're in the thick of it, going through it. You have to fight the fire. It's work. It's hot. It's painful. You could get singed. You could get burned. It's not pleasant, but it's necessary. If you want to move forward, there's just some pain you've got to go through. Sometimes I think we can skirt the pain. My 60-year-old boat, Perseverance, I tried to buy my way out of that. I thought, heck, I don't, really have an interest in learning about the boat motor, knowing how it all operates. I don't need to do that. I can just pay a mechanic to put the boat motor in because it scares me. And I know I say that so nonchalantly, but honestly, it did. I handed it off to a mechanic, and it sat for 5 years. It really didn't do anything, but it went downhill. He got it running, he put a wiring harness on it. He did some things on it, but basically I lost 5 years. Those are 5 years I could have spent with my kids on that boat having fun. But I didn't face it, and I lost it. Now I have to live with that. I'm not going to let that happen with my son, and it's been pushing me and motivating me to get this done. And I have, I took it out twice last year. I had an issue where I lost all my oil. I had to pull the motor, and I discovered, I've got some rot in my transom. So I had to basically tear apart my transom, which is the back of the boat, from the inside out and rebuild it. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm about ready to start putting it back all together. It's been very painful, but it's been necessary. And I've actually learned from the experience, and I've reawakened a part of myself that I forgot had really existed. I think the key to it, you don't have to be mechanical to experience this. You can experience this in all different kinds of ways. It all deals with fear. And I was too scared to learn what I had to learn. I kept on telling myself I couldn't do it. That was bullshit. I could do it. I chose not to. I did have a lot of, fun as a kid, putting go-karts together and taking my bike apart and painting it and putting new parts on and crashing it and rebuilding it. And I had a lot of fun building and, using tools. And I kind of forgot that because I grew up, right? And I kind of forgot that I could do stuff like that. And I told myself I couldn't do it because I had been paying people to do it. I lost touch with myself, and I've regained that. So, yes, it was painful. I experienced a lot of pain, but I have to tell you, I experienced a lot more pain not addressing my problem and trying to pan it off on other people, not taking the responsibility for my own problems. Because remember, things are not a problem unless you make them a problem. If you don't see things as a problem, guess what? They're not a problem. Because problems are defined by the definer? I don't know. They're defined by you. You determine what things are a problem and what things are not a problem. It's called an opinion. You could be right or wrong about it. Some people are wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. I'm going to be wrong more. It's okay. I've received my own kicks in the ass, but I find that I probably kick myself more in the ass than anyone else. I'm more critical of my own behavior than anyone else because I'm going to guide my life and it's going to be on my terms, in my way, because this is my life. And yes, it's going to be painful. I admit it, some of these podcasts are probably painful to listen to. So I thank you for keeping coming back and listening to what I have to offer. I am here to help, and I'm also interested in how I can help you. So please reach out to me at john@swiftkickinttheass.com. You can visit my website. I've got some resources there for you. There's also a way to contact me through the website as well. But let's get back to this hallway and the fire in the hallway. So we talked about how this hallway represents your journey, really. You keep walking forward, you make choices at these doors that you encounter along the way, each one leading you to different experiences and destinations. Some doors, maybe they're easy to open, and others are not so easy to open. Maybe some won't open at all. Do you have the patience and the persistence to unlock that? I don't know. I think that my door, one of the doors I have, has been my boat. And I kept on going, trying to get in, kept on opening that door, kept on trying. And I'm still kind of trying. But I think I've got the key now. And I've got it cracked open. I actually been using the boat, and it's opening up a whole new world to me. I think it's maybe widening my hallway, is expanding my universe. So, these hallways, they can be filled with twists and turns. Things come that you just would never even imagine. There's an unpredictability of life. You don't forget about that. I think what I had to let go a lot of in the last few years was control. I had no control over losing one of the best friends I ever had. But there's plenty that I still can control. In fact, I think back about when my dad was dying of ALS. And he says, he says, sitting here and crying about things I can no longer do is just a waste of time because I can still do plenty. And I'm going to spend the time that I have left doing things that I can and not worrying about things that I've lost or things that I can't do anymore or how life has changed. I'm going to just get on with life and I'm going to live it. And I saw that with my dad. I saw that with Tommy. Tommy wanted to make sure that he squeezed out every drop of life that he possibly could when he could. And he did it. You never know when things are going to be just when the rug's going to be pulled out from under you and your life's going to be ended. So keep that in mind. For me, it's a motivator to keep moving, not to get too hung up on things because you know what? In the end, if you don't get to it, I don't think you're going to have regrets because when you die, your regrets die with you. I don't think you take them with you. Maybe you do. I don't know. But in any case, we talked about how the heat and the pain and the fire that we experience in this hallway is therapy. And it can also represent a catalyst for change and for healing. You could see Tommy, Tommy's death as being a fire. It was definitely a catalyst for me to reevaluate my life and take some huge steps to make my life better. Because let's just face it, I'm on the downward slope now, right? I'm past middle age. I'm 58 years old, but I don't really feel that way. I still feel like I'm on the climb up. I hope I have no downward slope. It just maybe ends. But in any case, face the fire. This is what you can do to address the pain and the negative side of what you're going through. Face the fire, confront the challenges and the fears head on. If you need a therapist can be very helpful. Friends are great. Listening to my podcasts are great. I certainly don't have all the answers. I'm not a trained professional. I'm not a healthcare provider. I'm just a guy. Seek a licensed therapist if you really want to get help. That may be your only choice. But having an unbiased person to help you, I'll be the first to admit, to get where I'm at right now has involved a team of people, a team of professionals, and some I listened to and learned what to do, and some I learned what not to do. This is your journey, so you have to decide that for your own, but there's no way for you, to get the experience that you need and to learn everything that you need without the help of other people. You just can't all do it by yourself, and there's no reason to do it by yourself. So face the fire, and with the help of a therapist, you can that can speed up the process of personal transformation. Clear the path. Just as fire can clear away old debris, therapy can help you get past these traumas and these unhelpful patterns. I've been able to do a lot of this myself. I'm kind of a do-it-yourselfer anyway. But I have enlisted the help of therapists. I have gone to my doctor, and I did take antidepressants for a very short period of time. I do not take them now. They serve their purpose, and I moved on. I've changed my diet. I found that diet was a huge reason for what I was calling anxiety. It really wasn't anxiety. It was my sugar was so high and through the roof because I like Reese's peanut butter cups. I like chocolate. Sweet things I liked. But I've Even changed my tastes now to more savory things. As you get older, you need more protein, right? Your diet needs to change. So I eat a lot healthier now. I'm eating less sugar. I'm more watchful. Did I cut out sugar entirely? No. But I'm going to want to enjoy my life. I don't want to give up all these things that are bad for me. I just want to keep them in check and enjoy them, in moderation so that they don't become problems. When I was headed for my black belt, I really started to experience some severe hip pain because I was pushing my old man hips right to the limit. And I enlisted the help of many people. I went and saw a doctor. One guy said Taekwondo was not for me and blah, blah, blah. It just motivated me even more to push myself. I have received my black belt. In fact, I'm on my way to my second degree at 58. And I guess what I've learned is that I've learned to push through, and my hips are actually so much better now. They're so much stronger, and I've still got a lot more work to do, but I'm going to keep doing it because I'm in martial arts. It's an art. It's a continuous development. I love that, and it's helped me out a lot. But through this, I have found a new path, a new one that I never imagined I could be on, but it has just brought me so much peace. Before I was so wrought with anxiety. I had this boat. I didn't even know where it was at sometimes over the last 5 years. I let that get out of control, and I can be the only one to blame for it, but I also take all the credit for correcting it. And I plan on having a lot of fun this coming season with my boat, and in about 2 years, I'm going to take her to Bimini. So you just keep on following me on this podcast because I'm going to keep doing fun things, and I'm going to keep inviting you along with me because I know that you can do these things too. It's time to take back your life. It's time to reassess pleasure and pain and where that stands in your life and what it means to you. Only you can do this. Going back to the intervention with my friend who's drinking too much, my psychiatrist friend said there's a new kind of way of thinking about addiction and alcoholism, and I know this to be true actually just in medical care in general because they use the same common term in dealing with my hips. They said harm reduction. Basically, in some cases, not everyone is totally able to quit and have zero, alcohol in their life. Sometimes that's not a possibility. So they reduce it and take steps in order to reduce risk of harm to yourself or to others. Same thing like with my hips. When I went to the doctor, I got cortisone shots in my hips. What that did was it helped, remove some of the pain so I could keep going and strengthen my muscles and tendons and fight. It helped me fight the pain is what it did. And I could have gone back, and I have thought about actually going back and getting more, but it just comes and goes. So I'm just going to live with it. I'm trying to teach my body to deal with the pain without the need for cortisone shots or ibuprofen or whatever. Believe me, sometimes I have to do that. I take out the massage gun. taking ibuprofen. I have this this gel, Arnicare, I think it's called, that that helps with the muscle pain. So I'm dealing with the pain, and I am finding that it's helping me transform. The life before that I had lived, like when I was just trying to skirt my responsibilities and just trying to buy my way out of things, I learned that it doesn't work. You got to fight the fire with fire. You got to light a fire underneath your own ass and get your ass moving. You're the only one who's going to do it. If you need a way to like continue on this path, but you feel like so strongly that you need to continue, but you're hurting yourself, figure out ways to not hurt yourself as much. Some things they feel so important that you feel like you have to continue on down this path. I'm not talking about drinking or drugs. I'm talking about, like, my boat, for instance. It was very important to me. My wife doesn't understand the boat. Like, just maybe your spouse doesn't understand about, maybe you like muscle cars or motorcycles or skydiving or fishing or working out or anything, chess, reading books. No one else has to get your interests but you. And only you can define if, your life has a problem that you need to address or not. It's your life. These are your terms. You have to live with them. I'm certainly not going to tell you what to do or what decisions to make, but I want to provide you with the tools to help make you make better decisions and live a life more on your terms. I really do believe that every person that is happy out there, it spreads. It's contagious. If you're good with your life, then you're in a better place to help others. And we all need to help each other because we're all in this together. So I'm going to bring this episode to an end. I hope you found value in this. I hope in this hallway of life, I hope you're exploring, every door that you can open and that you're getting the most out of it. Keep kicking ass and get some professional help if you need it. And believe me, I think you will be thanking me later that you decided to move forward with your plans to make this a good, positive change in your life. It's going to help you. It's going to help others. So until the next time, this is John Curran on A Swift Kick in the Ass. Peace. This marks the end of another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass, placing it directly in the can. As much as I like to talk, even I have my limits. It's time to go. Catch me on the next show. For better or worse, whether you like us or not, please leave comments wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Visit our home on the interweb. I think you can leave me a voicemail there. You can also email me at john@aswiftkickintheass.com. It's been my extreme pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you got your ass moving. Until then, until the next time, I'm out of here. Peace.